Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I'm Malik Hodge, and this is the Watchman Program. The Watchman keeps the black man and woman informed on the actual events that are taking place in the world today that are directly affected by the time, the Abrahamic covenant, and the judgment of America and the world. The Watchman bears witness to the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, and the unsealed scriptures. The watchmen are warning our people through the Gospel of Revelations, the Holy Bible, and the Holy Quran, bringing the truth of the books and Allah's chosen people into clear focus. Assalamu alaikum once again, brothers and sisters. This is the time where we invite you, brothers and sisters, that this message is resonating with, to make your move to stand up and start putting our getting help retrieve our body, our brothers and sisters, and prepare to leave this hell hole. This is ground zero. America is going to burn. We will be taken back to our promised land by Master Farah Muhammad. So, brothers and sisters, this is the websites. Go to the Watchman at waralert.org or watchman.of.war at gmail.com and register. The instructions are there and get so that you can begin processing to um, receive your reward of the Abrahamic covenant. Now let us get back to our program. Our program today is titled The Promised Land. The Promised Land. And the thing about this title is it's a promise made for this land, the promised land. Now, when this says the promised land, this promised land has been promised to a group of people by Allah, God. And this promised land was promised to this group of people for carrying out 400 years of servitude, being afflicted sojourners in a strange land. Allah shared that this land between the Nile River and the great river Euphrates is this promised land that is promised to Abraham's seed. Abraham's seed was promised this land. And the land was promised to them because of what they had to endure through in this 400 years of horror. So, the promised land. Brothers and sisters, the promised land, as is directly quoted or is directly hooked to the Abrahamic covenant. So, the people that is to receive this promised land had to endure through the Abrahamic covenant, because you read the covenant, it it's a contract giving you all the what's going to take place. Abraham went through, he fell in a deep sleep, and he seen a horror. And then God told him, what, after he seen this horror, know of Abram, know of a surety that your seed will be in this strange land. So let us look at it just to keep it okay. Here we are. Okay. Said, know of a surety. Hold up. And when the sun, I'm going to remove myself because a lot of brothers and sisters. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. But thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age, and in the fourth generation they shall come hither again. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, because behold, a smoking furnace and a flaming torch that passed between these pieces. It says, in that day, God made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Now, that's the contract. That's clearly the contract. And it is said that Abram know of a surety that your seed will be sojourners, and they will be in this strange land. In that land where they are, they will be enslaved. They will enslave them and afflict them 400 years. So, brothers and sisters, we've carried out this 400 years of affliction, of enslavement. We are hated by this nation, by this Caucasian white man, because for the things that we have been through for 400 years, and it has been consistently a battle just to stay alive, just for the near necessities to provide and have for our families, our children, just the near necessities. Now, we've made do of the things that we have. We've always are given the least of the people. We're despised by all, and we're looked at not just here in America, throughout the world, as ignorant, good for nothing people. We're not respected because the things that are said showed about our people. So, through this 400-year period, everything about us had been taken. First off, they took our names. They took our names from, they took our language. They took our culture. They took our manhood. We were lowered to animals. In America's Constitution, we were 3/5 of a man. 3/5 of a man. We're not a man in the American Constitution. From the time we've got set foot in America, America has despised and hated us, and has set out to change us from our the crowns of our head to the bottom of our feet. They set out to change us. So this 400 years of being constantly hung, raped, sodomized, burnt, hunted, fed to animals, used for bait, footstools, used for stuffing, um, pillows, animal food. They didn't waste us in no way. They used our skin for leathers. We were animals, literally animals to them, and treated worse than the other animals. Treated worse than the real animals. They refused to even allow us to think. They kept reading, writing, all type of education away from us for hundreds of years. They didn't want us to have anything. We were supposed to put our head down and just serve them. However, we are the ones that built and gave them the, every idea that they've had. They stole patents just from the simple things: a broom, a light, a street light, a wash machine, a cotton gin, a, every just everything that that they call theirs. Our people came up with it, created it, made it. So they've taken all of our ideas. They've taken everything that they can take. If they can take, if they can just annihilate us, that's what they would do. But they know they can't do that. They would like to. That's what they want to do. But they can't do it. Now, we have came through all these centuries, these 4 centuries of going through, of our people being born and dying slaves. We've come through times that we are not allowed to do anything. We'll be attacked, and anything that we do will be destroyed. For hundreds of years, we've received no justice, no freedom, no peace, no equality, nothing here in America have the black man and woman received. Now, there's two, and this must be shared. There's two different. There's a demon. There's the black man. The demon is the black man, the black woman. They have their devil father's seed. So they're the seed of the slave master. They're the chaff. They're the house Negroes. They are the informants, or they're the agents. They're a hidden enemy amongst you. Now, they're hidden amongst the original man and woman. However, the devil fathers understand and know their devil children. They know their demon children. They've kept great um, knowledge, or they've kept great um, great. We're just gonna say it like this. They kept great notes on who's who. Detailed. The slave masters knew which children that were his, and they kept the slave master's children logged as the slave master's child. Now, this is how they kept feeding the original man and woman their mindset, their agenda, and this is what they use them to manipulate the original man and woman. So we have to be told know about the wheat and the chaff, because the demons are the chaff. And in the scriptures it said that the devil will sow his seed into God's people. And it said that the devil said, "Oh God, I will sow my seed into yours." Meaning he would have child through your women. He would sow his seed into us and to make them look like us. Now, that is what's caused this major problem in our nation, because one out of every two are is a demon. One out of every two blacks is a demon. So so we don't think alike. We have two different natures. So us coming together is not going to happen, because that we we're not able to come together because they don't think like us. They have love for our enemies, because they are our enemies. And we are, and the world is food, because our enemies is controlling and manipulating the world and giving the narration of who we are through their seed that they produced, that is put through our women, so it looks like us, walks like us, and talk like us. So they're always the good cop, the bad cop. They're always the ones, they're the judge, the jury, and the executioner in their in this world. They break their own laws all around the world. They set laws, and when you break them, they execute. So they're above the law if you hold up, what's that? They're above the law. They don't have to keep to the law. They're the God. They're the ruler. And they, brothers and sisters, have never intended anything good for us or righteousness or right for us. Never. They never intended to let us go. They've never intended to free us. They've never intended to give us anything. We've been put through every atrocity that a people can be put through. They've killed us. They've done you know the things that they've killed us. They've hung us. And after going through all these things, they said that they were giving you equal rights. You never had equal rights. Freedom of speech. Yeah, free. Not, brothers and sisters, you're able to. You have what? You're able to go anywhere in America. It's not. Um, what is it? Um, Integration. Okay, let me see something. Something's missing. Excuse me. Give me a second. Okay. Now they claim that this is, you know, they was going to give you equal rights and everything. Nothing has been equal here for us in America. Nothing. They say they're going to give us equal rights. They turn around and give us dope, drugs, and push that through our communities. Turn around pushing drugs and dope through our communities, and then putting wars on top of it. So they're kicking in and putting wars and claiming, pushing their agendas, getting paid off for, and they're killing us. That's how they refuse to give us health care, anything that will help the black man and woman. Their jobs. They sent our jobs overseas just so that the black man and woman wouldn't thrive, didn't have a job. They sent the industrial jobs over to China. China was a basket case. They sent the technical jobs, they sent those jobs to India. They started importing India over here to take the tech and the science and the science technical science and the uh, even the medical. They just they shipped all the jobs out, and they brought the drugs and and movies and TV and have controlled our communities, and they locked us up. You use every way of keeping us and filling up penitentiaries, promissory notes, making promises that those putting their money into these penitentiaries, they promised them that they will keep them filled with us. So they, instead of us thriving in schools, they were making sure that we were going to be thriving in the penitentiary, filling up penitentiary after penitentiary. And they was going to, excuse me, making these penitentiaries big business, private businesses funded by the government. So a lot of people that knew people went in on these penitentiary ventures, big money deals, and been living off of our suffering again while they enslaved us once again. So we've constantly and forever have been in America, we've been afflicted every moment, every second. Where they kill us still to this day. Their police, which are the patties, the same system that the same system that used to they hunted slaves or the police force. That's the same system. So they hunt us to this day. You see it. They don't hunt their own people. The police can be it can be five of them. It and they people can be going off, pushing them. They ain't they listening. They ain't jumped on them. They ain't beat them. But if we make one wrong, we make a move, and if some itch your nose, you might get your head blew off. They'll fill you up with 100 bullets, and they won't find the gun. You won't even have a gun on you, not even close. And they'll say, "Oh, he moved funny." So, brothers and sisters, we are definitely the people of the Abrahamic covenant. We're definitely the people that have carried out this 400 years, and we are definitely the people that deserve this the promised land or have earned the promised land. Let's say that. We're definitely the people that have earned the promised land because we carried out the covenant, the Abrahamic covenant. And that is what entails who gets this promised land. So we have those sitting on the land, Ishmael, the Ishmaelites, the house aside, they're Indians impersonating Arabs. They are making um they're made a deal a week ago with false Israel, saying that they can make peace, come to a peaceful agreement as long as false Israel cut out some land for the Palestinians and they consent to speaking on a two-state solution for the Palestinians. And they do this, they now with America, they would do this with false Israel. Now, America is the third party in it, as long as America gives them protection, ensures their protection, and ensure their protection for the keeping of the land that they're on. Because they understand that they're going to need somebody to keep them on that land. Because that land, that promised land, is promised to you. Now, they have the chief demon, Louis Farrakhan, trying to sell you 6 states, trying to sell you um, reparations, telling you that we're not going nowhere, turning the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, teaching you Sunniism, giving you Sunniism, giving you Scientology, just making you a laughing stock, make the nation the laughing stock, a laughing stock to their enemies. But brothers and sisters, know that these demons, we have the messenger of the covenant is going to separate those black faced demons out. And the demons, like I said earlier, they the demons are the devil's children. They're master's children. Now, some of you are, you know, you know, are in love with the demons. They my brothers and that's my brother. No, that's not your brother. That's not your sister. Your mother carried them. So you think that that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the way that the devil keeps control of the original black man and woman. Because we know that our mind is hooked on thinking that we're the same when we have two different natures. They're the devil's children. They're your open enemy's children. And they love master. They love master's ways. They want to be close to their fathers. They're going to do, it's in their nature to love and do and be around their, and want to be around their father. So, brothers and sisters, you have to, that's one thing that messenger of the covenant, or the Joshua, the breaker of the 7 seal, Suleiman, Master Suleiman, what he will have to do is separate the demons out, get them out of us so that we can come together. And the demons, they're used in every high place. And the highest of places is the son of perdition, the chief demon, and he's sitting in the seat of God in God's temple, calling himself God. Worship, have them worshiping him, calling himself God in the seat in God's temple. Now, and they manipulate our culture, who we are, our families. They destroyed our family bond. They have taken and gotten rid of everything to try to keep us from understanding that we have a contract to receive this promised land. The Abrahamic covenant is the things and the conditions, brothers and sisters, that should the, the conditions of what we've went through has is letting them know exactly who's God's chosen people are, who's the original man. So our reward, the promised land, the reward is to get up out of this hell and be taken. Who's gonna get us and bring us up out of this? He said Allah himself, the God, Allah will come get us and take us back to our land and sit us back on our land. So our reward comes with, it's two sides of that. Because while we're getting rewarded, it tells you that our reward comes as they're being judged. So we setting up and coming out with great substance, coming up to be rewarded and to be returned in that fourth generation hither again in this land, from the river Euphrates to the great river of from the great river Egypt to the great river Euphrates, or the Nile River to the Euphrates River. So we're coming out with great substance about to be set on our land. So those that are sitting on our land making is making, you know, asking for more help, telling the devil, the dragon is telling the devil, the house of Sod, the Sunni, Saudi Arabia is telling the devil, well, we will accept false Israel. We'll make a peace deal in the Middle East if y'all promise to protect our land. that we're on, because they're hearing, they know what time it is, and they're hearing us speaking and telling our people that we're about to return to our land. So they're asking the devil, would you please, if you say you're going to give us more protection, will befriend false Israel. And if false Israel say that they just say, make concessions with the Palestinians and say that they're going to give them something, or at least speak on a two-state solution, we'll go with it. However, every false Israel was sitting over there impersonating us. They're sitting over there saying that they're us. They haven't did 400 years nowhere. They can't prove none of it. They didn't, no fourth generation. They didn't return to no land, that nothing. If you read the script, they said they have never, when they spoke to Jesus, said they have never been in slavery. They had never been up under the foot of no man. And that message they call um, the Holocaust, from 41 to 45, 4 years, 4 years. Many of them people, it's many people that went through the Holocaust still alive and lived a full life. Our people was born and died slaves for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. So that um Holocaust mess, and they act like they never did nothing to deserve what the Germans done to them when they turned on them. So they they act like Hitler was just, he was just so evil. But they wasn't sodomized. They still know their language to this day. He didn't take their language. They wasn't hung. Everything wasn't took from them. They just, they wasn't even tortured. They were, they was gassed, but they wasn't burnt. They wasn't hung all over the place. They wasn't hunted. So, brothers and sisters, the promised land, this land that we're going to go to in, it said, a land full of milk and honey, where the God is going to bring in this new heaven and new earth, and all things will be made new. And it will be perfect, and all the um it'll be perfect. It's something you can't even wrap your mind around, what the God has for us. However, this is our vision, because they're trying to offer you the American dream, the American scheme, and keep your mind away from this promised land, and keep from seeing and understand that you are promised this land because of the Abrahamic covenant that you've already carried out, that you've already completed. The Abrahamic covenant grants you the promised land. It's the payment. It's in the contract. So, brothers and sisters, we are in the best of time. However, we have to go through some trying time, some time of unprecedented trouble because we have to see. A lot of us gonna have to see this judgment and have to see this beast as he is and as he's being judged. You have to get some. A lot of us still have to get burnt, purified. Have to go through something else to get you to accept who you are, to get you to your mind to rotate, because we are dead people still. Our minds is dead because we still don't know who we are. We haven't allowed this knowledge of self to come in. A lot of our people don't know their right hand from their left because the chief demon, because of the Levites, didn't keep Elijah's message going. They didn't keep the nation, the safe haven for the black man and woman alive. They didn't keep it going. They allowed the chief demon to trick them and get rid of the nation of Islam. However, brothers and sisters, the messenger of the covenant is providing us with the information, the details of the wars, of what's what in the scriptures to elevate you, to get you to seeing what's around you, to get you to seeing that you you you've earned this promised land. You are the people of the covenant. This covenant is what they want to keep away from you because it's going they their side of this covenant is destruction. Their side of this covenant is judgment from by God for what they've done 400 years to us. So every action has an opposite but equal reaction. So they're going to get 400 years of what they've done to us, all bound up in a 1 year period. So they're going to catch, but God said, they're going to get what they. So I'm going to bring this to a close, brothers and sisters. I'm going to bring this to a close. The promised land, brothers and sisters, we're promised the promised land. The promised land is the reward. It's in the contract. The contract of what? The contract of the Abrahamic covenant. So these other imposters, they know that we're coming for our land. And we're coming, and we're coming with judgment. We're coming with war. Because the God is going, we're coming and we're going to war to remove them from our land, to remove the, we're taking this whole world out because we're hated. We understand that we are hated by the world, because the world is being judged for what their role in their hand in the in our affliction. And a lot and damn near every nation on the planet had something to do with our being afflicted. However, we're not worried about it, brothers and sisters. Don't be concerned. Oh yeah, it's a dreadful day ahead, but it's a beautiful day for us. We're just giving you this information, brothers and sisters, because we're going to keep you informed that you are God's chosen people. You are the people that carried out this 400 year sentence in this strange land. And we've came to the end of that time in 2019. And America has been being judged and the world is being judged since 2019. And brothers and sisters, you will definitely know because the abomination of desolation, this war in the Middle East, the war between Michael and his angels, Master Farah Muhammad, the God, Iran and Syria, is going to war with the dragon, the house of Saudi Arabia, and his angels, and those with him and his coalition, false Israel, America, Britain. They're going to war. And if you keep your eyes peeled, because any moment, as you can see, America is stacking its troops up slowly but for surely, building its military presence up in the Middle East, sending ships, sending planes, send, sending um, soldiers, getting ready. So they're building up their army. And they're preparing to go to war. And this war, brothers and sisters, is going to be the trigger to, it's going to trigger the apocalypse and be the trigger to us kicking off and us the wars that's going to take place. This abomination of desolation, the war in the Middle East, that is going to show the world. This is gonna bear witness to the world. The world gonna know without a shadow of a doubt what time it is that the true seed of Abraham is on their way back to their land because the imposters are gonna be destroyed. Those sitting on their land is going to be removed. So with that, I'm gonna bring this to a close. Brothers and sisters, the promised land is our reward, it's our land, and the Abrahamic covenant is the contract that you have fulfilled for the promised land. And with that, I'm going to bring this to a close and greet you as I came in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. This is a call out, the information you need. Register at waralert, waralert.org or the watchman .of.war at gmail.com. Register, brothers and sisters. We have to gather our nation, prepare for what's about to take place, and begin acquiring our passes, our tickets out of this hellhole. And with that, I'm going to end once again with Assalamu alaikum.